Hey yo, what is going on you guys? Alejandro here and welcome back to another episode of Magayon. In this episode, we're going to be building a Dutch intersection and roundabout. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell notification so you'd be notified whenever I upload a brand new episode of Magayon and see this port in action. Let's get started. So what you saw there was the port of Magayon in action, and I built those in the past two episodes and it's been amazing. I think we're going to be focusing more on larger scaled, less detailed builds, but for this episode it's going to be an exception because it's an interchange or intersection roundabout thing. Roads, I love roads, so as far as roads go, we're gonna make this a little bit on the upper side of detailing. No, it's actually medium because I'm not doing that much detailing because I've learned from building a lot of roads on how to optimize designing. So what I'm doing here is a roundabout, a grand roundabout. It takes inspiration from Arc de Triomphe in Paris. Yes, as you can see, because it's a roundabout in the middle of intersecting important roads, and it's like a grand boulevard is going through, which is the Magayon Boulevard, and the Mayon Boulevard has a dedicated it has bike lanes on them, so we're going to be making a roundabout with dedicated bike lanes. So I'm taking inspiration from Dutch styled roundabout, so here's a picture of that. As you can see that the bikes go all around the roundabout, and I think they're priority. And yeah, the traffic here is not that heavy. The only traffic here is, this is like a grand boulevard that used to be like the main road, but now it's not much because of a highway going around the city. So people going through don't use this road anymore. So yeah, it's kind of nice. These are only used for like parades and stuff. And yeah, I think I changed these later on to red ones because I think it fit the vibe well because the roofs of the buildings here, and it's like a heritage site, so I kind of feel like red is a nice place here. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, now you'd see me use the intersection marking tool to make these lines again. And yeah, using these to divide. I'm not sure if this is right. I'm not familiar much with roundabouts, but as I've said, this road is not that heavily used. It's more like for aesthetics now. It's like symbolic rather than functional because as I've said, we have a much wider road, like a dedicated highway to go around the city. And this is like, we're gonna be placing a centerpiece here later on, but you'd see me build this like bike road around it, and I was thinking of either sinking it down or making it elevated, but making it elevated would block the view, which is like protected, but making it sunken would be making it prone to flooding, and also we wouldn't be able to see it that much. So yeah, just imagine that the traffic here is not that high, which it actually isn't. It's very low because we still have no population. And speaking of population, we're going to be focusing on building housing in the next episode, so stay tuned for that. I will be, as you can see, I've changed it to red to match the vibe and everything, and I'm also extending the bike network into the walled city. And later I'm going to be changing that. I'm going to be putting it into the road rather than outside the pedestrian because that was a bit wrong. And yeah, now I'm just fixing up these things and that, and I think this would be a perfect time to announce that I have a Discord now. So if you guys want to join the Discord and stay up to date with the latest and talk to me about Magayon or share your creations with us and communicate. Let's talk about anything about City Skylines or design, history, all this, all that. And the link is going to be down below, so make sure you are subscribed, hit that bell notification, and yeah, you can go on check out my Discord. It's right there below. And yeah, another announcement is that I haven't released my asset list yet, but I've released the map, the base map that I used but I terraformed the actual map that I'm playing here. It's like the base form of that, like the old one, and I also have the LUT and the map theme and my mods that I use in the series. So if you guys want a video dedicated on those, hit me up in the comments and leave a like again. And yeah, I will be releasing first. I said on a poll that I will be releasing the assets in batches, in stages. So the first asset list will be the Magayon roads list. I'll be releasing them soon, but I'll be releasing them early on Patreon because I already have my mods and theme, my map asset, my map list on my Patreon page. If you want to check it out, go to patreon.com/Calejandro. And if we hit 10 Patreons, I will be publishing the map theme publicly, and I will be uploading the assets on Patreon early on. And yeah, just stay tuned for any updates, any announcements, because yeah, I often post my announcements on the YouTube posts, so make sure you're subscribed so you'd see those posts and you'd get a chance to help in the decision making process of the series. But if you want to get closer to that, consider becoming a patron, and of course join my Discord. And yeah, I'm gonna be talking about those later on, but let's get back into the video. So even though these roads already have a dedicated bike lane on them, I still opted for placing a one-way bike network to allow for greater customizability, and so that because Sims actually in this game actually prefer placing pavement or bike roads rather than the bike lanes on the roads, because they're actually a little bit faster. And yeah, that's that. I'm not adding in these decals because I didn't add any of them. And yeah, you see that this design of the roundabout is even though it's 3 lanes, it's pretty safe because nobody is really driving around here, as you can see. And yeah, later on we're going to be building a Dutch tiled intersection, which is connecting this roundabout to the pier. No, it's actually the harbor, but the passenger harbor, the old harbor, because this roundabout is connecting the boulevard to the harbor to the walled city. And yeah, I'm just placing down this thing right here because we had terrain issues and all this and all that, and I just wanted to fix that right away because I'm using different roads and I didn't want people to walk across on the pavement of these roads, so I changed them into highways. So yeah, and the highways had different heights, so I had to adjust them also. And yeah, I'm just using these network asphalts to cover them up. And yeah, now I'm fixing up this gate thingy, because if I made it go straight through, it would be that doesn't look aesthetically pleasing. And I'd imagine that these 2 blocks right here, they had to be removed once the construction for the city's construction, the Burnham's plan was actually followed. They allocated this amount of space for the entrance to the walled city, so that cars can actually enter. There's only the walled city is not actually open for cars, but this is a car for the royal family or something, because Magayon is not it's like Japan, where there's a royal family but the royal family doesn't have that much power. Yeah, so if you want to get into more detail about that, we'll be talking about those on Patreon and on Discord. But yeah, here is Rizal Monument. And I had a hard time choosing the centerpiece for this. I was thinking about a fountain or something, but a fountain would be a little bit too generic. I wanted it to be iconic, so I found the asset for Rizal's monument. Now, it's not exactly like the Rizal monument we have here in the Philippines. It's from Shredder Gaming, but it has these things around them. But let's just imagine, since we have limited assets and I don't know how to make assets, let's just imagine that this is one of the descendants of the ruler of Lakandura, the walled city, Lakandura himself. And he's a descendant who actually, who was head of the development of the city, the expansion, the 1910, 1915 or whatever expansion of the city by Daniel Burnham. And yeah, he's there alongside the other people that helped him, and this is a tribute to him. He was at the middle of the city, and this was the middle of the city a long time ago, but since the city expanded very rapidly, because why not? This is not that heavy used as it was before, and they repurposed this. Is it part of a redevelopment program for the waterfront and the Magayon Trail, which is a bike network that goes across the entire waterfront. And yeah, this is connected to that, and this is like a very touristy place. Like, I don't know if you could actually walk into the monument. I think you can't go there. I think it's like you can't go there. It's like sacred. It's you can just take a picture from a distance. And yeah, we have those like horses on the sides. I don't know. I don't know if it looks good. I think it's a little bit too small, but you know, with the scale of the city, nothing really makes total sense. But yeah, adding in these trees, because you know the trees actually finish up the look. It makes it nice, you know. Just adding in trees makes it look finished, even though you didn't do that much detail, and that's quite nice because we want the series to last a little bit longer. I'm also moving the paths like a little bit off the road because you know trees actually need like a little bit of soil in the middle. So let's just imagine that there's soil there. And yeah, because these are quite huge trees, and I'm taking inspiration from Champs-Élysées. I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's like a boulevard in Paris, as you can see. If you don't know that, everybody should know that. If you play Cities Skylines and are interested in city design, you should know about that. And I actually changed the last bridge that I built in the last episode, because it was just a plain bridge. It was not like the tram bridge that I built. I just, you know, changed it to this one because it was glitching. The node controller was glitching, so I just changed it to a normal road, no overlays, nothing like that, nothing special, and just stick with this one. And yeah, traffic is not that heavy here anymore, so I guess that's okay. And yeah, connecting the lines. This episode is another road episode, but in the next episode we're going to be building houses, as I've said. And yeah, you'd see me that name like Dubai-ish Marina. I actually like that was the old name like tons of episodes ago, but we're gonna be changing those. We're not gonna be like, this is not gonna be a Dubai-ish Marina. The Dubai-ish Marina is gonna be on reclaimed land, and this one is gonna be a little bit more historical. Like, as you can see, I've placed the San Francisco Pier or something on the side, and I want to capture that aesthetic, like the 1910s aesthetic. And yeah, we'll be building this once we have built up population. So yeah, in the next episode, once again, I keep repeating myself, we're going to be building that. And now we're going to be just, you know, glossing over this thing because it's a little bit simpler to do this now than it was before, you know, with the limited assets that we have. I think the only Dutch styled intersection we have is from Silverette from 5 years ago, I guess. So this is a bit of a, you know, a fresher take on that. But if you want to know how this actually works, I'll link the video down below. But essentially, instead of like this is going to give priorities to the bikes, and they're going to stay at the edges of the roads rather than like in the middle. It's safer for cyclists, for pedestrians, and of course also for cars. So you'd see me build here how they're going to make a left turn, because left turns are one of the most difficult turns. They're gonna make a left turn the same way a pedestrian would. They would go straight through, go forward across the road, and turn left right there, rather than just turning left directly, like making a point of collision point. But this is a much safer way, and it looks kind of nice. So we're gonna be placing down some safety nets. I know, not safety nets. It's like an expression, like safety curbs on the side to finish things up. And I guess that's about it. I just built roads again. It's another road episode. I love making these road episodes, but sometimes they take a lot of time, you know, from researching to developing to building, recording these time lapses, and the cinematics. So if you guys want to support this channel, consider becoming a patron on patreon.com/Calejandro and get exclusive content, early access, and much more with the link down below. I have the asset list is going to come soon if we reach 10 Patreons. So those 10 Patrons, those who are going to make that 10, congrats to you. And yeah, but if you can support me on Patreon, that's okay. You can still subscribe to this channel, leave a like, comment down below what you want to see next, and turn on bell notifications so you'll be notified whenever I upload a brand new video. Only 30% of you guys are subscribed, so if you want to help the algorithm out and help me out in making higher quality videos, subscribe. And yeah, I guess this is it. I'm just placing down the final touches, and the screen is gonna get dark. Oh, it's getting dark. Ooh, scary. This is Calejandro signing off. Bye!